Good morning.
Happy Fertilizer Friday.
Happy Fertilizer Friday. So, we're celebrating a snowfall. You can see behind us in the greenhouse we had, 8 inches of wet, heavy snow.
Yesterday
and
was the
more to
beautiful
come.
sun behind me.
Yeah.
And now I have snow.
Yeah, so is northern Wisconsin. But anyway, today we were talking about Fertilizer Friday, our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer. We're going to be highlighting, and we're going to go back to the basics, old school this time.
There's so many people that don't know what the fertilizer is.
Yep.
And so welcome to the channel. But we're going to talk about, do you water your plants, or not so much your garden? I don't think people water with their garden.
There might be.
But your pots or baskets, do you water with the watering can? Or have you stepped up to
hose and sprayer or a fertilizer injector?
Using a hose.
Yeah.
What are you watering with? So we're going to talk about the absolute basics of putting water in a watering can and using the fertilizer.
Sure. So comment down below. What do you use to water your plants? Outside, or probably not inside watering with a hose, but some people have a jungle inside. so anyway,
and is it overwhelming? If you're watering with a watering can, are you just like, oh my goodness, I'm dragging them? Your mom would always say, I have to drag a watering can all the way down the driveway.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit this in 3 different parts. So today we're gonna go old school watering can, but then we're gonna talk about next Friday. We'll talk about stepping that up to using a hose and sprayer, and then the next Fertilizer Friday we'll talk about using a fertilizer injector. So we're gonna kind of go from here to the next step to the next step.
Can you tell that I had him do a layout of what we're talking about?
Yeah, Amy's an organized one, so she's like, you need a planner, and we did. We sat down and we kind of planned out all the topics, and it's going to be great.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about the old school watering can, going back to the basics. I do want to highlight that if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching our lives on Facebook, those get deleted automatically by Facebook. It's not something that we're doing. Those automatically get deleted after 30 days. But we put them also on YouTube. So if you're watching our live videos on YouTube, that's great, because that'll be there forever. So if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because then you can catch all those videos. Because I get that those comments a lot of, I was trying to find that live video from back when you talked about this, and it's like, those are gone. After 30 days, Facebook just automatically deletes them. So I don't like that, but that's what it is.
But please hit the subscribe, the follow, hit all of them. Just start tapping all those buttons.
And there's a notifications button. You can hit that little bell on YouTube, so then it notifies you, lets you know when we put up a brand new video. So anyway, our Fertilizer Friday, let's go old school. So we don't have the watering hose here, but
we'll just pretend that.
Okay.
So here's what's in the jar. It's an 8-ounce jar. It has fertilizer, and we have it also in a little bag. So we chose to do it that way because we asked if we should just have it in the bag and sell it that way, and it was overwhelming response. They wanted it in the jar.
Yeah, we took a poll, and
overwhelming.
Yeah, they want it in the jar.
So it is in there. It's not a resealable bag, but you can always dump it into the jar if you want, or like I did, I just left it in the bag.
We pay extra for the little foam inserts, like a lot extra, so that seals nice and tightly. So the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, the shelf life is about 18 months in a cool, dry place. So if it's in your garage or in a basement or somewhere, about 18 months. So if you have some from last year, no problem, you can use that again this season. But you should be actually using it. Because we've had some people like, I bought some 5 years ago. Like, come on, you're obviously not fertilizing anything if you still have it. But so about 18 months as far as the shelf life. So we just have a tiny little scoop, because ours is a concentrated greenhouse grade. So this little jar makes about 100 gallons of good quality fertilizer that we would be using in a actual commercial greenhouse.
Because when you developed it, you didn't need fillers, because you weren't going to sell it. It was for our greenhouse.
Those other fertilizers that you find all over the nation and every big box retailer, those have lots of fillers in it. I don't know what they put in it, but
I think they have like a big tablespoon that they...
Yeah, because it makes you feel good about taking this great big shovel full of their fertilizer and dumping it in. You don't need that. Ours is really concentrated. So ours is actual greenhouse grade, a good high quality grade. It's concentrated because otherwise we would be using a dump truck every week of fertilizer if we had to use those other types of fertilizers. So it's just one little scoop, one scoop per gallon.
Like a lot.
Doesn't look like a lot, but it is concentrated. It has a lot of kick. So this is a 2 gallon.
This is a 2 gallon watering can, which is pretty common.
Yeah.
That's
Unless
a
you would
pretty
have
common
a very
size.
small.
Yep.
But most of your watering cans are 2 gallons. So remember that they're, take a look at it. It's probably a 2 gallon. So there would be
Check your size.
2 scoops of our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, and then fill that up with water.
So 1 scoop per gallon.
Mm-hmm. So for this watering can, we would put 2 scoops, put them in, and then mix it up with the water, and then we're going to go through and fertilize it.
What I like to do is I like to put it in first, and then I like to add my water to it.
Yep.
Because then it really kind of gets agitated and mixes around.
Yes.
Whereas if you just dump it in, you'd have to like swish it somehow.
Oops, I dropped
You
my
just
scoop.
go ahead and drop.
Okay, so
And then add your water.
yep. So then, another one of the questions that we get a lot is, well, how much do I add? Like how much fertilizer water do I add?
That is a huge
That's
question.
a big question. So the answer is you're just watering like normal. It just happens that the water now has the feed in it. So whatever this hanging basket needs, that's what you're gonna water it. So I won't give you an exact answer because today it's cold and snowy out. Guess what? This hanging basket is not gonna use much moisture. So it would just be a little bit. And in fact, today I actually did my fertilizer Friday yesterday when it was sunny out.
Because
I
you
went
know.
through and I fertilized everything in all 5 greenhouses because I knew today was going to be a weather day of cold, snowy, no sun. So I got my fertilizing Friday done on Thursday. So
There's
whatever,
no
it doesn't matter.
It's just a little to remind you. You want to pick any day, go for it. Pick your day. It doesn't have to be Friday.
But don't let it be confusing to you as far as, okay, it's a sunny day out, it's warm, how much fertilizer should I add to my hanging basket? Well, whatever it takes to get this plant to survive until tomorrow, 24 hours. That's
Right.
all we're thinking about. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, every fertilizer Friday add 1 quart. I'm not going to tell you that because 1 quart might be right, but more than likely it's not going to be their
going
the
to
right
get the
answer.
nutrients, and next week you're going to give it the nutrients again. So
Yeah.
that's why you're not feeding it just once a month or once a whole summer.
Yeah.
You're constantly giving it that little dose of food every week. So don't be scared that if it feels really that's the other thing. If it's really heavy and wet and you're like, it's been raining or whatever the circumstance are, and you're like, do I still fertilize? No.
Yeah, just wait until the appropriate time
Right.
to, this hanging basket, it's heavy because I fertilized and watered yesterday. I absolutely will not be watering today because it doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this will get its next feeding the next appropriate time.
Yep.
So yeah, so don't let that trip you up with, I'm not giving you an exact answer. The correct answer is whatever it needs for 24 hours.
And we're going to get into a lot of the watering habits because that is one of the biggest questions we have by far of
how to water
people.
correctly.
People want to have the exact how much, and that's never going to happen because life changes, weather changes, everything changes. The plant grows differently. So we're going to get into a lot of that later on.
Yep.
But right now, that's the magic. You just put it in the can, add some water, and water your plants like you would normally water them.
Yep. And another question that I get that always kind of surprises me, they're like, okay, I just got the fertilizer. So should I just mix this into the soil? No. This is a water soluble fertilizer. So it gets mixed into water and then you feed with the water. Do not mix this into the soil. That's instant death for the
Because
plants.
it's so concentrated
Yep.
that you say, well, if I have too much fertilizer, is it going to burn out my plants? The short answer is if you're doing water soluble and you're doing
Yeah.
it to measurement,
Don't have to worry
no.
about it. Yeah.
If you're just putting it straight on,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
might have that problem
Yeah.
because that's not how it is directed to use.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Always refer to the directions and the correct instructions. And we've had that. We've had people that and got so mad at us. I remember a customer like 10 years ago. She bought like $200 worth of impatiens, and she mixed the fertilizer straight into the soil. And guess what? They were dead. Next
didn't
day.
like it.
Next day they were dead. And she came back in and I'm like, okay, what did you do? Explain to me. And she's like, well, I just mixed that whole fertilizer packet right into the soil. I'm like, whoa, you did what? And yeah, so you can't do that. That's
Right.
not how the fertilizer is designed for that. It's a water soluble. It has to be mixed with the water, and then you water with that. So
Right. And so watering can, that's the easy portion of it. And then next week, Friday,
we're gonna be talking about
when you're like trying to step it up to, you have quite a few more plans.
you've graduated from the old school watering can. And you want to step it up and make your life easier, and it is. Hose and sprayer.
Hose and sprayer.
And then also the fertilizer injector.
Right.
And guess what?
We'll get to that.
Guess what? We have videos on how to do that on our YouTube
If you
channel.
want to cheat before the...
Yeah, if you want to hit play the next chapter, go to our YouTube channel and you can just type in the search bar, hose and sprayer, Sharkies, or fertilizer injector, Sharkies, and it'll pull those videos up. Or we have a playlist of fertilizing videos right on our YouTube channel. So our Sharkies Greenhouses YouTube channel. You can go under the fertilizing videos. It's all categorized, so it's kind of nice.
It is.
So if you want to learn how to do that, again,
You can
go
press
to our
the cheat
YouTube
button.
channel. Yeah. But we will be talking about that. So if not, hang tight till the next Fertilizer Friday. That's going to be the next couple subjects.
So let's do the retailer highlight, because we like to do that every day, highlighting a retailer who carries our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. We have that retailer locator map on our website, the beatyourneighbor.com, and you can go and see if there's somebody within your area. And that is a really important thing for us to support other businesses. So please check that out first, and then if there's not one in your area, go ahead and purchase right online
So our
to 48 states.
So our brand new highlight, brand new Beat Your Neighbor retailer is Hoekstra's Market and Greenhouses in Fox Lake, Wisconsin. So really nice greenhouse. We were watching a little bit of their videos last night.
We'll have to take a ride down there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Fox Lake, Wisconsin. So that's Hoekstra's Market and Greenhouses. So,
Excellent. Well, welcome to the family.
Very excited. Okay, it's also, not only is it Fertilizer Friday, it's a Friday Funny.
Oh, jeez.
So Scott's got to tell
Help
a
us.
funny story, right?
You make me nervous with these.
Okay, so I've got a boo-boo on my nose, on the bridge of my nose.
Boo-boo?
Yeah, it's a boo-boo. It's a boo-boo. And so Amy's like, you're going to have to put a Band-Aid on your nose. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not putting a Band-Aid on my nose. Not a chance.
Like right across the bridge
Nah,
of his nose.
no one will care.
You could do it. Nobody cares.
She's like, no one will care. I'm like, no, I've got some childhood trauma from Band-Aid on the nose. She's like, what? I'm like, how?
Can't wait to hear this one.
So I'm like, okay, listen. So when I was a kid, my buddy had a paper route. So old school, like after school, he would go and deliver the evening paper. So went with him quite a bit, yeah, just to keep him company, whatever, I help him. And so my buddy Todd had a paper route around our little town, and so I'd go with him. And there was a lady on the paper route, sweet little old lady, but she didn't have a nose. Okay, I'm serious. She didn't have a nose. There's no nose. Like, I don't know what happened, but there was absolutely no nose, and just like the two holes. And she had a Band-Aid over it, and it absolutely terrified us. I don't know why. She was a sweet old lady, but it absolutely terrified us. And of course, you can think of two little kids just staring at her nose like every single time. It's, you know, but every day she would give us cookies. Nice little lady, but she had a Band-Aid on her nose, and it just terrified the two of us. And so she would give us cookies every single day. And you know, think about that. That was so sweet of her. but we wouldn't eat them because we concocted like, okay, that overactive imagination in two little kids. And so we're like, I bet she ground up her nose and put them in the cookies. So, and now thinking about it as an adult, they were store-bought cookies. They were like Oreos or something. Like, that doesn't even make sense. But we were convinced that she did this. So, I feel bad all these years later. Like, you know, she was just a nice old lady and gave us cookies. Yeah.
Something happened to her nose.
I know. And I feel terrible as an adult thinking about it. But I mean, we were little kids, and it was just like this. She has no nose.
And so Scott can't wear a Band-Aid.
Yeah, so I'm like, I absolutely am not wearing a Band-Aid on my nose.
Because you don't want to traumatize some other kid or what?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and have a great big open oozing sore. But I'm not.
Oozing.
I know. But I'm not putting a Band-Aid on my nose. So that's my Friday
He
funny.
will, eventually.
So I'll have it checked out and we'll see. But anyway, thanks for joining us in our silly stories, and we will see you again. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Saturday stroll.
We do our Saturday stroll, so it's
And
just a time to.
Lots of flowers that are starting
Yeah,
to
they're
poke out
popping. They are
blooms.
starting to pop. So if you watched last week Saturday stroll, it's going to look different, and there's some color in here, and things are really clipping along.
The plants are even starting to like poke up above the baskets where we
There's
planted
been
them.
so much growth, so
That's
I
'cause
can't.
we had that beautiful sunshine.
Yeah, we did. So can't wait to show you. So be sure to join us live again on our Facebook channel, our Saturday stroll, and we'll show you how it's been growing this week. So
Yay.
thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.